hurt Rock? It's not uncommon for the deepest hurt to come from within. In the case of Raquel Thomas, she has been hurt by many, and that hurt has transformed into hurting other people. Hurting other people happens because usually you can't, for one reason or another, hurt those who have hurt you the most. Based on the breadcrumbs given to us, this video will make a whole loaf of bread to get to who hurt Rock. Before revealing who hurt Rock the most, we must rewind to a conversation that she had about herself during the first season of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. Hello, Power veterans. Lady Vet here, with a video about the painful journey of Raquel Thomas and why she is the way she is. While there is no one reason, there is a main reason, and that reason affected her life's decisions ever since.
You ever think about how I ended up the way I did? The woman I knew.
You your own person. Grow. Made your own decisions. None of that. It's on me. So don't try to put it on me.
I'm not trying to put nothing on you, man. Just asking a question. You gave me an answer.
That's right, I did. So stop asking me questions. Your mama ain't your problem, Raquel. You are.
Rock stopped asking her mother questions, but she also showed a level of disdain for her mother while trying to respect her and stay away from her at the same time. But so has her brothers. Why is that? Were they hurt too, or do they know who hurt Rock? Since that most unforgettable hurt, Rock has been hurt by almost all the men in and out of her life, so much so that she's not afraid to die and is proving herself to be one of the coldest, ruthless, and most manipulative drug bosses in the Power universe, next to James St. Patrick, aka Ghost. We first heard about Rock as a little girl briefly when Rock went to see Snaps and Pop, who remembered her in pigtails jumping rope outside of her parents' house. Clearly not a time that Rock wanted to remember, so she quickly got to the reason for coming to see them.
Sexy girl. Shit, I remember you in pigtails, jumping rope in front of your parents' house.
There seems to be many other times that Rock wanted to not remember, especially as she grew up from that little girl into the underage teenager that ended up in bed with Malcolm Howard. Their conversations carried two versions, one being that he, an older police detective, did not know that Rock was underage, meaning he didn't know that he was committing statutory rape. Then there's the other version that Rock presented as common sense. He knew she had school books when he saw her, so how could he not know or miss the fact that she was in school or of school age? Oftentimes, as much as one wants to forget, there seems to come a time that forces the memory to reflect upon what's real, as in this commentary.
Shit is when you alone, when no one else is around. 'Cause that's when your head be talking to you, telling you fucked up, that you ain't shit, won't ever be shit.
Now, how many times do you think Rock played this noise in her head? Remember this commentary, because we will visit this again in this video. The time for Rock to reflect on what's real seemed to have come at an inopportune time. With everything going on in her life and in her business, now it appears that her chickens have come home to roost. Rock knew all too well the feeling of pregnancy from being a mom. The thing is that Rock was about to be a mom before she was a mom. In my opinion, this is the crux of Rock's pain. Little by little, this season of Raising Kanan is exposing many of the family's secrets. Kanan's research for his school paper was huge. Each sibling offered a different perspective into the life of Elijah E. Train Thomas. Joyce, who never spoke well about him to his children, spoke highly of him to Kanan.
Look, your grandfather did what he did because he didn't like his life and the world around it. He didn't like me much neither. But for most of his life, he believed he could do anything he set his mind to. That's why he had so many jobs and interests. I'm going to tell you my point of view of your grandfather. And your mother and your uncles, they're going to tell you something different. So I'm not saying I'm right about all this. I'm just saying this is how I remember it.
However, there's still a missing perspective, the view and feelings of Rock, E. Train's daughter. Although Rock offered to add to Kanan's paper, she was denied. What she did tell Kanan is that she was his favorite. I'm curious to know what her view of E Train would be for Kanan's paper. Where would Rock get that from? That she was his favorite, other than E Train himself. And the question is, favorite what? One tool that's common to those who sexually abuse kids is grooming. It helps them reduce the risk of being caught. In addition, my opinion is that Rock and Joyce's relationship is strained because Rock probably tried to talk to her mother, and somehow Joyce has managed to blame Rock and attempted to make her feel worthless. Oh, there's more in the Thomas secret vault. Rock's earlier pregnancy termination was not solely because she was so young, but because the baby was her father's child.
You can be goddamn sure of that. My feelings is good. Nobody needs to worry about them, and nobody needs to worry about me. I appreciate your time.
To make matters worse, in my opinion, Rock had an earlier trigger of abuse that took her back to what her dad had done. We know what Rock did to the building supervisor and how she sat staring into space later that evening. We know how Gabriel had been treating Juliana, but after Rock had killed him, she stepped to him up close and personal and said that the last shot was for every other man like him, then stepped over his head as if she did the world a favor.
They forgot who the fuck I am. Where the fuck I come from. They about to remember me. They about to know me.
Unique and Howard got to know Rock. Being in the game, Rock knew that she couldn't kill a cop. After trying to have Kanan kill him, and that didn't work, Rock waited for a golden opportunity to put Howard down herself. She never flinched and never thought about Kanan seeing it or how he would feel about it. She saw the opportunity to put the man down who hurt her many years ago and had tried to come in between a mother and her son. One of the family's secrets is that E-Train took his life because he didn't like his life. But did he take his life for that reason? Or did Rock take his life as she had done with other men who hurt her? Well, after not asking her mother questions for a long time, Once again, they are face to face at a family dinner. And with the weight of the world on her shoulders, an attack on her business, having the greatest love for a son who doesn't show her any affection, the one son whose life she spared while terminating several others, and with no one in the family to trust except Jukebox. Here she sits across the table from her mother, who announces that she's dying. Now is a good time to revisit the earlier commentary.
That's when your head be talking to you, telling you fucked up, that you ain't shit, won't ever be shit.
So we now know that the noise in Rock's head was planted by her mother.
It's terrible.
What? You knew about this too? Raquel, now you spend our whole lives knocking us around, lying to us, telling us we ain't shit, and you think a fucking family dinner gonna make shit right in the end.
I'm not trying to make anything right. I'm just telling you that I'm dying.
Rock is upset, but mostly hurt all over again because she's about to suffer a devastating loss. And she must wonder, will her mother acknowledge the very thing that may release her from inward turmoil, own that she knew about E-Train, and give Rock some explanation to free her, if only in her mind. The Power family dinners are so lit. You best believe that once you take your seat, you may not eat because the family chatter will make you lose your appetite. Why do you think Rock acts the way that she does? Do you think that E-Train molested Rock as a child and that Joyce knows but blames Rock? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you soon with the next Breadcrumbs Breakdown. I'm out.